YouTube, what's going on? Trey back again to hit you with a video. Now this video right here comes out of Texas. Yes, big shout out to everybody in Texas by way of Dallas. Shout out to everybody in South Dallas, Oak Cliff, Plano, Garland, all the surrounding areas. You all know exactly who you are. When I first seen this story, because, you know, me being so busy and whatnot, having other things to do during the holiday season, I thought the story actually took place in Michigan. But as I did furthermore research and more people reached out to me and said, man, you got to do a story about this. We know you're from Texas and everything, so please do a story about this old lady that was basically evicted. And a lot of you all may be saying to yourself, well, why was she evicted? She was behind more than $4,600 in rent, past due rent, that she wasn't able to pay due to the fact that they raised her rent up from $490 all the way up to $700 a month. You know, and that's a lot for a person who can probably barely pay the $490. So they raised her rent up more than $210. So she got behind a couple of payments and stuff, which she stayed at this apartment complex for over 11 years, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was 11 years or a little bit over 11 years without missing rent any time. But when they changed the rent and they made it go up for some reason, that's how they do sometimes. They just up the rent. That's why you got to be careful when you're renting from these certain individuals. You know, if it's not somebody that you really know real well, you know, anything can be subject to change. So you got to be prepared for everything. But the saddest part about, other than seeing her out there in the cold, which was very troubling to me, because like I said, when I first seen the story, I thought it was out of Detroit somewhere. I thought it was out of Baltimore somewhere. And big shout out to everybody in Detroit, Michigan, Baltimore, Maryland, all the areas. And lo and behold, yes, this was right here in our own backyard. And that's what I be trying to say. You know, we have people who talk about everything but what goes on in their own backyard. You know, I'm going to talk about it all, like I said. But back to the story. Now, when I seen this old woman out here, 74-year-old elder, you know, who lived her whole life, basically, probably helped taking care of other people, probably done had a husband who done died, she's probably a widow or whatnot. But my main question was, because if you listen to the story and you see the people around her, it was what? It was family and friends. And also, before I go any step further, big shout out to the pastor that stepped in and helped and assisted her and said that she could put all her belongings there until she get settled, because a lot of people wouldn't even do that. So big shout out to that pastor for doing that, because not every preacher is bad. Like I always try to tell you, I try to make my videos, my critique, as balanced as possible, even though it's coming from an objective side. But still, though, I always try to see the light in things. So big shout out to the pastor for letting Miss Ella McDonald keep her property at his place until she can get on her feet. And the good news is, before I get any deep into the stories, that they did find her a place. But also, we want to make sure that she don't have to worry about rent. We want to see if we can come together and hopefully, you know, help her get her a trailer or help her get her a little house. That way she don't have to even worry about paying rent. But you still have one thing we call property tax. And it's sad that even though you pay for a house, that you still have to pay property tax. So really, you don't own anything. But that's a different story. But if you notice, the people that was outside around Miss Ella McDonald, they were what? Just people from the neighborhood. And thank the Most High that a hairdresser happened to pop up, because I don't understand how could anybody see this woman out here outside and not go over there and assist her and ask her for help. So big shout out to the woman, a hairdresser, for stepping in, and that will kick the whole thing off, because I guess she made a few phone calls. But my main concern was, back to what I was saying, when you looked around the video, you seen just friends, you know. Then you also seen a hairdresser and a few other people. But where was her family at? That's the point I want to make. Where was her family at? Why didn't she have her family out there? Because I guarantee you, if that was my grandmother, I'm sure one of you all grandmothers, and if you was in a position to help, you would do what? You would help. You would not leave your own people out there on the sidewalk or anybody else. You know, if not, just give them a couple of dollars, you know, some money to get a hotel room or something, or take them where they need to go. But where was her family at? And, you know, and correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I've seen, I did not see anybody from her family basically assisting her. And that should have been the first people that they should have called when they seen this woman out there, this elder out there. They should have said, well, look, this is her son number, this is her nephew number, this is her daughter's number, this is somebody's number that could help this woman. So this woman shouldn't have to sit outside for all those hours, when I know good and damn well that she has family. But this goes to show you how family would do you. When you can be of a use to them, they would use you. But when you get older, and they can't use you no more, they just throw you by the wayside, pass you on by, tell you to get out their way. And that's sad. So if you have somebody in your family who's an elder, who's an older woman, who's an older gentleman, a man, you should help them and go check on them. Just like when I went and checked on my grandmother and stuff, and I offered the best I could. But one thing about older people, we also have to understand is that a lot of them don't ask for help. You just give. They don't want to feel like you have to feel sorry for them or try to make you feel like you owe them anything. Now, some of them will, say, give me this. But some of them won't. And my grandmother's the same way, on both sides of the family. They would not ask for anything because both of my granddaddies are deceased. So I'll try to come in and I ask, well, who else done came over here and checked? And hardly anybody come check. I'm like, well, damn, that's sad. Let them need a place to stay or anything like that. You'll be the first door they will be knocking at. And also, how many of you grandmothers and grandfathers out there, you older people that have grandchildren or children, period, and your children came and gave you something for Christmas or just came by and gave you a hug and said they love you? How many of you all even seen your children or your grandkids for Christmas? But let them need something, let them get evicted out their place. I bet you they will be at your doorstep by sundown. I'm going to read a snippet from this story, and I'm going to give my opinion, all of it, surely as we go. Community in South Dallas. Big shout out to South Dallas community for standing up. This is one of those videos you should be inspired to do. Since we all cover all these other stories, murder, robberies, or whatnot, this is a video that shows there's still love inside of these communities. No matter how dark it may get, there's still some light that can be shining in the darkest situations. Now, the community in South Dallas come together to help evicted elderly woman who was basically kicked out of her apartment for missing rent, not because she was just trying to live for free. No, they upped her rent and she was living on a base income, which means she probably just getting SSI, disability, something like that, or a check from her husband or whatnot. It's a set of money. And if they say you're gonna get $700 a month for this, for whatever they're gonna send you, it's $700. It's not $705, not $710, nothing like that. So that's what you call a fixed income. It doesn't change regardless. Now, she used to pay $490 a month for rent and got along just fine for years. Remember, this woman stayed at this apartment complex more than 11 years, and they didn't have a problem out of her since then. But guess what? It's not what you've done for me then. It's not about you paying your bills in the past. It's about what can you do for me now. And I understand, because I know I'm going to have people that say, well, it's a business. They can't take care of it. That is true. That is so true. That's why your family's supposed to step in too. You know what I'm saying? You can't say that without saying the other part also. I understand that these apartment places or any other place, if you rent a house or you paying for a house, you miss your mortgage, you miss your rent, they're going to take it from you regardless, because we live in what we call a capitalistic society where cash rules everything around me. Kring it. You know what I'm saying? Like Wu-Tang said, money makes the world go round. If you don't have no money, you can't do nothing in this world, because it costs for you to be born and it costs for you to what? Yeah, somebody said it. Thank you very much. It costs also for you to die. But somebody got to bury you or somebody got to cremate you or whatever. I mean, so everything in this world costs money. That's why you should have strong people beside you. But it's a shame when you get older, people just tend to throw you by the wayside and walk right on by you like you don't exist until they need you. And that's when your sons and your daughters and your grandkids pop up at your door and they ain't did shit for you, ain't even said hi, cat or dog to you in years. Let's continue. Now, but at least 6 months ago, her rent went up to over $700 a month. So how can a person who's living in a major city, living on a fixed income and can probably barely pay the $490, you up her rent to $700? Why is that? That's the point. Why is that? Now, I understand it's their business. They can do what they want to do with it. Fine. But why did you raise her rent up? And also, was it worth really taking her to court? I know you have to do things by the book. That's the legal way, of course. But, like I said, if she had a family that would help her and assist her, but sometimes people don't ask for help. My grandmother's the same way. I just walk through the house and just see what she needs. That's what I do. When I walk in, hug her, kiss her. I just walk in, just see what she needs. Oh, you need a chair, you need this, you need that. And some stuff she won't even take from me. I try to offer it to her because, that's who we should help. Because I remember when I was little and I got sick and I needed, medicine. I needed somebody to help me. She was there. When mom was working or whatnot, she was there. When dad was in the Air Force and they was traveling, she was there at both sides. So you can't forget that when you get a little older, even though some of us forget that. And we act like we don't owe our grandparents shit. Now, they ain't never did shit for you or your mom and dad. That's different. But if they have been any blessing in your life, you should do what? Give back to those same people. And then what? We wouldn't even have this type of story. If anything, somebody would have said, here go fund me for Miss Ella McDonald. It wouldn't have been all over the news and everywhere else, because guess what? Family would have came along and swooped her right off from the streets and put her up somewhere instead of having to sit out here and rely on the sympathy of the public. And I hope that makes very sense. If it makes you mad, maybe you're the ones I'm talking about who don't give a damn about your elders, your parents, or your grandparents until you fall in a situation or you get kicked out by your girlfriend or boyfriend or divorce or domestic disputes happen in your relationship, or you get kicked out. Then you're going to be at their door knocking. But you should also remember that before you get in trouble and you need somebody. Because if you only call on somebody when you need them and when you're in trouble, what that means? That means you basically using them for every time you get in trouble. Let's continue. Now, a 74-year-old woman evicted after missing months of rent is getting a helping hand from her neighbors after she sat outside in the cold for hours watching over her things. And people don't think it get cold in Texas. Shit, it get cold as hell in damn Texas. You have ice storms and every damn thing. It just rarely happen. But when it happen, it be freezing cold. And I know it ain't cold as a lot of you all other areas, but trust me, it get cold as hell. And to us, I mean, 50, 40 degrees is cold. I mean, let's just be for real. Now, her name is Ella McDonald, and big shout out to Miss Ella McDonald, and also may the Most High bless her. But this stories like this, it happens for a reason. Because sometimes we need that reminder, okay, maybe I do need to call my grandmother. Maybe some of you all after listen to this video will go check on your parents and go check on your grandparents and whatnot, your aunts and uncles who don't let you stay with them. It ain't just the grandparents or the parents. You have aunts and uncles who have helped also, but some kind of way when we get to where we need to be, we forget about those people. That's why no matter how big you get, never forget where you come from. Help those who help you. Anybody else that didn't help you, to hell with them. I believe that. But if anybody have helped you, remember those people. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying go around trying to save the world. I'm saying help those who have once helped you, and you'll be all right. That's how you get your blessings. You don't get blessed, and then you keep all your blessings to yourself, and you don't want to help nobody else. You feel what I'm saying? But if somebody helped you to get to point A to point B, even if it's just one time, just remember them. Just remember them. That's all I'm saying. Now, Ella McDonald has lived at the Eben Village apartment homes for over the last 11 years. And she didn't have any problem till they, upped her rent. So that shows you right there that she wasn't the type to try to skip out on paying bills. Because old folks live by one thing. They're going to pay their damn bills. They're going to pay their damn rent, regardless of for those who pay rent. I'm sure I'm talking to a few older people right now. They believe in paying their bills. So let's remember that also. I mean, I know mine sit up here and try to take money from another bill. I'm like, well, no, don't do that. Here go some money for that. Or she'll take it from somewhere else just to pay the bill. So they do believe in paying their bills. That's just how they are. They got that old-fashioned ways. Now, McDonald is on a fixed income. She used to pay $490 a month for rent and got along just fine. But at least 6 months ago, her rent went up to over $700. So how can a woman who have a fixed income of only a certain amount, and she's struggling to pay the $490, and thank the Most High she was able to pay that for so long, and then you come along, you up her rent. And I understand, they got things what they call gentrification going on, where they pushing the lower income people out. They raising property taxes, they raising all kind of taxes on everything. And I'm sure it's just not happening in Texas. It's happening in California before I left. So you have people who are basically pushing the poorer folks out and making room for the people who with a little bit more money. That's what you call gentrification. It's just, a blatant term. Now, managers say that she owes over $4,600. How can she pay that when she's on a fixed income? I get it. It's not their responsibility. It's not their worry. I understand. And that's why I brought up the key point about family. Family's supposed to step in. Now, they say she's mixed rent too many times, and court documents even showed that the complex took McDonald to court to be evicted. They did it the legal way. Fine. They did it by the book. Okay. But like the news clipping said, everything is not black and white. We just can't look at this woman and say, well, she was out there balling. She was out there having her little young guy that she tricking off money on. No, this not even that type of woman the way it look. Matter of fact, you could tell she like a church going woman, one of them old church women who just love going to churches, have a good heart. It just sometimes your family forget about you. Because like I said, if anybody should have been in the video, it should have been family. And also if the family would have came and got her and helped her, it wouldn't even been no video. It wouldn't have been time for the news people to get there. Wouldn't have been time for the neighborhood to gather around. But it's good that the community in South Dallas did gather around and help Miss Ella McDonald, because Lord knows what would happen to that woman, being that old and out there in the damn cold. And how can you sit up here, being an apartment manager? And I know you got a job to do just like anybody else, but where's your heart at? Like I can just certain jobs I couldn't do because I have too much of a heart for people. It will hurt me too much. I ain't no problem paying them my damn self, but I know you can't continue to do that for nobody. That's why Your family supposed to step in. But family ain't family until they need you. That's when they want to be family. Let's continue before somebody get mad. Now, on Friday morning, McDonald was met by a constable at her door. Her things were removed and she was evicted. That's what they do. They have constables or they have marshals come out and evict you. The police don't do that. They send constables or they send the marshals to your damn house to have you evicted. Now, she sat for hours now, watching over her things in the cold. Where was family? Paramedics even stopped by to make sure she was warm. Where was family? Why didn't family stop by to make sure she was warm? You all might be wondering, why you talking about family so much? Because, damn it, that's what the whole story should be about. Family, loving each other, taking care of each other. That's how it's supposed to be. You feel me? I mean, let's be for real. Have we all forgot that, or was I just talking different? I'm sure somebody out there understand what I'm saying. If that, she would have had people really, genuinely, now I'm not saying that they didn't know what was going on, because sometimes your grandmothers, your grandfathers, or whatnot, your moms and dad keep things from you. I understand that too. But I'm pretty sure somebody called, somebody said, look, your grandmother outside, your auntie outside, and didn't nobody show up to even offer no assistance, because you know the first thing they're going to say, I ain't got no room in my house, they ain't going to stay with me. That's what people do to you. Let's continue. Now, paramedics even stopped by to make sure she was warm. They didn't say anything, McDonald said. They just took my stuff out of my apartment. She's talking about the constable. And she said, I can't believe that our office would do such a dirty thing to a senior citizen. They would do a dirty thing to a damn child if they had to, because guess what? To them, it's a business. It's a business. That's why you have to keep your bloodline intact, your family intact. Now, from whatever opinions you want, but according to court records, the apartment did this eviction by the book. Now, we don't have to form an opinion. We know the law. We know if you don't pay your bills, you get evicted. We're not disputing that part. We're disputing the part of where it was the family, where was the help, where was her people at. I mean, damn, it's not that hard to understand it. Some people would not understand it because that would shine a light on them. That's the reason why you won't hear that part coming from certain people, or if people are just talking about it, you know, the day-to-day dialogue. I'm not saying you have to be some YouTube content creator to discuss this, but if you hear people, they don't want to mention that part, think about this. Why won't you mention that part? Because if family was there, when you have to raise up a GoFundMe, you probably would just to help her, you know, go and get it settled somewhere. But maybe you wouldn't have. But the point is, she wouldn't have been out in the cold that long with her stuff. And it's a huge embarrassment to them people. You know, them old folks don't like to be embarrassed like that. They tell you the first thing, don't embarrass me. I know when I was young, we used to go to church and we used to go to the grocery store. You had that little talk in the car outside. Look, when you get in here, don't embarrass me. You keep your mouth shut. And get in there, we raised all kinds of hell. But anyway, however, neighbors and friends didn't want to sit by and do nothing while life handed a bad hand to McDonald. And that's the good thing about this video right here. And I'm glad also that it came out, you know, well, the story I'm doing came out, even though it came out a couple of days ago. But I'm glad to be doing this on January the 1st, because it shows you with all the drama and all the violence, negativity, yes, that goes on in South Dallas, I know. But at the same time, you still have good people there. Now, everybody there are bad apples. You know, they say one bad apple spoiled the bunch. Not true when they're dealing with people. You know, that's them people and those people that let those bad apples influence them. But this goes to show you, when those neighbors and friends stepped out, they did say family, they said neighbors and friends. When they stepped out and they helped this woman, they should be honored also. So I honor them people also for basically stepping up and helping Miss Ella McDonald. They also says it was just so ugly the way this was done. Glenda Mixon Russell said, Mixon Russell is McDonald's hairdresser. She the one that's seen her outside. She was coming to pick her up for an appointment and find her outside her apartment earlier today when she stopped by to pick her up for a hair appointment. She was just enraged, crying. And I have never seen her like that before, Mixon Russell said. I would be like that too if I ain't have nowhere to go and I'm sitting outside on the curb. No vehicle to even sleep in, no truck, no car, no nothing. Just you stuck. You know, like they say in California, left on stuck. Now, Mixon Russell started talking with other neighbors about lending a helping hand. So big shout out to Miss Glenda, Mixon Russell for stepping up. That's what true women supposed to do. That's what queens supposed to do. Step up and take charge. You don't wait for nobody to throw you the reins. You take charge. You grab the bulls by the horns, and you lead the way. Now, by the end of the day, a GoFundMe was started to help McDonald move into a new apartment. An area pastor even loaned out his garage that McDonald could store her things inside. Because guess what? You still have to pay for a storage building, a unit, which would be more money that she don't already have. So big shout out to that pastor for stepping in, trying to help this woman. Now, this wasn't one of these pastors we seen from these big old churches. I'm not trying to throw no subliminals at T.D. Jakes or whatnot, the Potter House or whatnot, because maybe they did not know. But big shout out to that pastor for stepping in and making a way for her to have her property, her belongings, safe at his place. Now, for now, Mixon Russell said McDonald would stay with her. The hairdresser that took the woman in. That's such a good, honorable thing that she done for her. That shows that she really loved this woman. And that's sad because unless this woman don't have no family or no kids or anybody, the kids should be the one to take her in. Just like people and just like us when we get older. If you have children, and I'm sure I'm talking to some of you all right now, if you have children and you in your old age and you need help, don't you think your children should be the first person to help you? I mean, that's sad, but a lot of us like to make an excuse, but we got to look at things the way they really are. Family ain't family no more these days. And you verily have people that really sticks with you and show you love and support. People are with you. Most people are with you just for what you can do for them, like stepping stone. They're going to use you until they get to the next stone. That's it. And once they get there, they're going to let you go. Just like hanging on to the branch and you still hold on to the other branch. Once they get good and secure, they're going to let you go and they're going to move on to the other branch. And that's just how they do people. So you got to be aware of those same said people. Now, but she added that she'll help her find her a new home. So big shout out to the hairdresser for letting her stay with her. So let me know what you all think, because I don't want to make the video too long. But at the same time, you have to remember this. What can we take from this video is this right here, is that even through some of the darkest places, you give cities like Chicago a bad name, certain parts, Baltimore, Florida, New York, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Houston, whatever, Chicago, LA, whoever. But at the same time, not everybody there are vicious animals, crooks, criminals, drug dealers, prostitutes. You have good people there in every little sector. And that's what we should highlight also. If we're going to highlight everything else, we should also highlight that. But the thing that I want you to remember the most is this right here. The people who should have responded that didn't respond, because if the story didn't say it, and if they did, please let me know in the comments section and I would take that back. But the people that responded was what? Family and friends. Not family, excuse me. Friends and neighbors. I don't know how to say family. Friends and neighbors are the ones who responded and helped Miss Ella McDonald. So let that be a lesson. Sometimes, your family just ain't nothing. I want to say something else, but I'm not. But you have to remember this also. You can meet a stranger or somebody that just do your hair or somebody you stay beside and will show you more love and compassion than you will somebody who share the same blood with you. You have to remember that, because everybody that is your blood related to you is not family. Them just your people that share the same blood. It's a difference, because you can have family with strangers, people that you just met, and them be the best people that you ever meet in your whole life and will do more for you than the people that you are blood related to. So that's what I want you all to get out the story. And big shout out to the hairdresser, the pastor, and the whole community, South Dallas, in this neighborhood apartment complex, who basically stepped in and helped this woman, because without them stepping in to help this woman, no telling, she probably wind up dead or whatever else, who knows, or meet up with some sadistic ass people out here. Let me know what you all think about this situation. And if you got people in your family, your grandmothers, your grandfathers, somebody who did something for you, even if it's your aunties or your uncle, we talking about family now, go tell them people you love them, or do them something. Drop them off something and tell them you love them if you got it. If not, just at least go hug them and say, I appreciate what you've done. That's what you should do. That's what it's about. Don't forget where you come from, because guess what? If you do, you may be subject to repeat it and go back. Let me know what you all think about this video. If you like the video, push that like button. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Definitely share this video with your family and friends. Until next time, help those who help you. And also, remember, family is more than just saying that you care to somebody. Family is showing people that you genuinely care for them. When they're hungry, you will feed them. You will not turn them away. When they ask you for a sandwich, you will not sit up here and say, well, I ain't got it, or I can't do that. You will feed your family. If you throw away food, or you can feed a dog or a cat, trust me, you can give somebody in your family something to eat. Or, unless they're on hard drugs or whatever, and if you can't help them, because some people, I understand you can't help, but we talking about to the people who just need a little helping hand. We're not talking about people who out here addicts or whatnot, and the least you can do for them is pray for them if you want to do that. But love your people, because it's more to being family than just saying that we can, because we come from the same stock. That don't mean anything. Let me know what you all think. Till next time, you all stay blessed, stay woke, stay vigilant, spread love. I'm out.